You guys, this is the last time that I ever drive this F-150 naturally aspirated. Today we're gonna go head over to the shop. It's officially tear down episode. We are tearing this thing down. We're pulling the cab and we're installing the twin turbo kit. Make sure you follow along, sit down with a nice cold beer and some popcorn, and enjoy this video. All right, so we're over here. We got all of our parts in the passenger seat. I would say the one thing that I'm gonna miss the most is listening to this thing turn a bunch of RPM at pretty much every time I go to accelerate. Yep, she sounds good. Alrighty, y'all, here we are with the F-150 in the shop. I do just want to show you over here on the bench. Here is the twin turbos that we're putting on the truck. It's an ON3 performance kit. This is a 6667 billet wheel ball bearing turbocharger, and I'm excited to get those guys on. Of course, we're going to start first. This is a 100% stock truck. I bought this truck at auction. It used to be an old meter reader truck, and of course, we have done a full build on this thing, so make sure you go check out that video. You guys might have saw in my intro that we have some awesome companies standing behind us to help produce these videos. So make sure you go down the description below if you're looking for any performance parts, automotive lighting, any of the stuff that you see in this video. We got a bunch of discounts in the description. We're gonna start by pulling the cab off of this thing. I have a set of billet oil pump gears that we're gonna throw in the truck because this is an 18 through 20, and 18 through 20s need a set of billet oil pump gears. So we gotta get this cab off. We gotta get that front cover off, get to the oil pump. While we're down there, we're going to drill and tap the oil pan for the drains. We got that kit right there. And yeah, I think there's not much left other than let's get to freaking work. We're out here with the whiteboard of requirements to get the cab off the frame. And you can see the purple X's are everything that we have completed. We're not crossing it out because this is gonna be a good list to keep track of putting the cab back on. So we got a couple things left on here: heater hose, shifter linkage, evap canister, that kind of stuff. And we have not drained the cooling system, mostly because it's gonna be a fucking mess, and it's always a fucking mess, and I hate doing it, and so I've been procrastinating. But we gotta do it. We're gonna get it done. All right, we're doing a little check-in here. What we got done, boys?
We pulled your exhaust.
We got the cutout out, and right now we're working on removing the cat back. And I don't know if we're gonna pull. Do we want to pull the Y pipe? Might want to pull a Y pipe. Right now. While we're underneath here, or at least, yeah, we're probably gonna want to pull a Y pipe. The board is looking very good. We have almost everything done except shifter linkage and pulling the Y pipe. We are officially pretty sure we're ready to pull the cab on this thing. You can see pretty much everything that's connected to the engine is now on top of the engine. Everything that's with the cab is away from the engine, we think, right?
For the most part.
Maybe.
We'll find out.
We got cab bolts out, and every single thing on our whiteboard has a purple X next to it, except for evap canister, because I was told that that needs to get undone, but we could not figure out. Bailey and I were checking it out, and we could not figure out what that means, right?
Nope.
Don't know. So
We're gonna find out though.
we are going to put the lift arms underneath the cab, and we're gonna take it like inch by inch and see if there's anything that we're forgetting. It's like pulling the cab on when I pulled the cab on the white GMC. We think that we're ready to pull a cab, so of course we're gonna lift it up literally like an inch and then see how it looks. So this is gonna take a second, but
That was more than an inch.
no, it wasn't.
Well, whatever you tell her.
Bro, it's moving for me. How's your side looking?
Everything looks good.
Take these bolts out
Wait, which bolts?
on the cab mounts here. We don't take these middle ones out.
Yeah, the middle ones we were talking about earlier.
No one's going to have to. Why?
Everything in here looks good.
I have
Dude, my arm's not gonna work.
Why?
It's gonna hit on the bed, I think.
It's gonna be close.
Oh, I see it cuts in over here.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah, my arm is too long.
Yeah, it's gotta be in more. It's gotta be like touching the step. Over there, I think we're almost touching the step here.
We're gonna graze the bed over here. 100%.
We can't have, we're not cows, we can't have any grazing.
Well, we're gonna have to do some.
You gotta center it on the lift.
Oh, regular cab, sweet. Why the regular cabs gotta be so difficult? We could put it on the step bracket.
Where on the step would you want your?
Basically go like this. You wanna try it?
Inch or so. Hold on. Come up a little bit more. A little bit more.
Before you.
Okay. Looks like the mounts are free of the frame.
Your right side looks good. I'm not seeing anything else here.
That's all clear.
Front looks clear.
Clear as fucking mud, boys. I think we're good to go up.
I think we are too.
We're underneath the truck right now, and there's our cab mount clearance. Bailey's over here sticking his arm up a horse's ass, I think. Should be good.
Yeah, buddy, we got something here.
What we got?
We've got some sort of harness that goes up into.
Is that tight right now?
It's a little loose. If we go up any higher, it's probably gonna come right off.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know.
Take a ponder.
Oh. That's the aftermarket they had on the truck.
Wanna cut it?
Yep.
All right, we're going for a cut. Ready? Once we cut it, we're going back.
Yeah.
Oh. Don't put all the fucking rocks on this.
Oh, it's fluid film.
Hey.
You're the one who told me to fluid film it. That cutoff wire needs to come out. Hey, you're supposed to be looking at my side, bro.
Me?
You should have seen this.
Hold up.
Right up.
Okay.
Good.
Yep. Okay, stop. We're into a slight problem here. We're gonna throw the truck back.
Bro, look at how close the back of the cab is to the bed. There's not even 2 fingers width there between the cab and the bed.
You could say she's tight.
It's close, yeah. It's close.
Alright, so if I take her back about 6 inches, would be good.
And keep going. We're clear. Stop. You're hitting on your side. Lower it down.
You guys good?
Yeah.
Everything looks clear on my side.
Oh, you know what?
Don't even.
Oh.
Don't even.
We have to do all this for an oil change?
Whoever said they gotta remove feedback lines, they can suck it.
That must be only a 16 thing.
Well, 16 owners can suck it.
All right, here we are with the Scaliote. Bailey has some kind words for us.
Should have bought an LS.
Should have bought an LS. There's a fuck ton of wires on top of this engine, you guys. Like, I've pulled cabs before, and all the wires stay with the cab. This is, all the wires stayed with the engine. And the headers don't look any easier to do, as Bailey said.
No.
No, not really. I couldn't imagine doing those. I mean, I've done them. I've done long tube headers on a truck like this, but I couldn't imagine doing turbo headers with the cab on. Jesus.
I agree. Should have gotten LS.
We're starting the next day out. It's me and Dale in the shop, and we're going to start tearing this thing apart. So yesterday, as you saw, didn't do the greatest job at videoing it just because we had like 3 hours and we were just trying to get the cab off. But we have cab officially off the frame. We're down to bare coyote here, and so we're going to start tearing the valve covers off this thing. It's a spider web of wires just to get down to the valve covers. So we got to get all of this stuff off of here, and then to do oil pump gears, we have to get all of the front accessories off of this thing. So that's going to be a little bit of fun. I have never worked on Gen 3 Coyotes before, or much of Coyotes, so this will be pretty entertaining. We're going to take it step by step. Here we are. We finally got the passenger side valve cover off, and this is the harder valve cover to get off because of the high pressure fuel pump and all the components that go along with this. So I cannot understate how pleased I am with how clean this engine is for it being a previous fleet vehicle, and you know how they just run everything until the oil change light comes on. This thing's super clean. It's got great wear or lack of on the cam lobes and all that stuff, and everything's just super clean. So I'm really happy with that. We're going to get the driver's side valve cover off next, and then we're going to start working on the front accessory drive to get down to the oil pump and all that fun shit that comes with doing that. Got my small army of slaves over here. I probably shouldn't say that, should I?
What the hell?
These guys are not slaves. They're
I'm getting paid.
Bleep it out.
we're over here doing really good. So you guys saw we got the passenger side off. Bailey's starting to work on manifolds. Dale's over here doing phasers, VCT solenoids for intake and exhaust on both sides. So that's awesome. We got everything on the front end here apart, aside from we got to get the balancer off. And then over here, surprisingly enough, the passenger side, driver side, is even cleaner than the passenger side. There's not even any like caramel color over here. So looking pretty good. We're gonna keep making headway, get this front cover off. And what are you guys doing over there?
He was wrenching.
Yeah, he's making a shit ton of noise. Jeez. All right, boys, we got our graveyard of parts on the bed, making progress over here. Bailey and Dale are working on the manifolds, which are, what's one word to describe it, Bailey?
Pain in my badonkeys.
That's not one word.
Pain in my...
What the fuck was that? Pain in my badonk?
I need one word. Stop saying pain in my, that's 3. You're starting with 3 words. You haven't even gotten to the word yet.
That's what I was expecting.
Anyways, the boys are working on the manis. I got the crank balancer, harmonic balancer off finally. I used a strap wrench to hold the engine from turning over, and I got some shouldered bolts behind here with a standard puller. All right, and Dale's over here taking his manifold off, and we're gonna get back to work. All right, the boys got the passenger side manifold off, and the driver's side is coming off as we're speaking. There's a trick over here that I learned where you go through the side of the frame, and there's like a little square in the side of the frame that you can use to get the 2 center bottom bolts out. So they're working on that, and I finally got the front cover off. We're gonna get the timing chains off and get that oil pump off, and then put the gears in, and then we got to drill the hole in the pan for the oil drain. 7:45, and Dale's pulling out spark plugs. Bailey is pulling off shields on the side so that we can drill and tap the oil pan. I'm over here with the oil pump gears open. Got all of our timing components off. Engine is all apart, oil pump's off. Pan's off, of course. And we're having a good time. So, I did mess up the timing a little bit. We're going to get that figured out. I followed the procedure as outlined in the Ford Workshop Manual, and I still screwed it up. So we're going to make sure we don't kiss pistons to valves, and we'll see how it goes. Alrighty guys, here we are for the day. Got the oil pan off and back on, and it's going to be hard to see, but we have our bungs in the side for our turbo oil drains. Our oil pump is back on, and so next up tomorrow is put all the timing components back on, get the front cover back on, valve covers on, and then we can slap in the manifold. So I am 10:03. My watch says it's past my bedtime. I'm gonna go home, get cleaned up, and we will attack this a little bit more tomorrow. We're out here for kind of day 3, day 2.5, whatever you want to say. I think we got the timing stuff figured out, got a couple things to check with that, and we're gonna start throwing this thing back together. So last night we got the oil pan back on, we gotta get the front diff lifted back up, and we gotta get the cross member back in and hopefully we can start a little bit of reassembly today. But I'm a little bit tired. We're gonna keep pushing through this, and let's see how far we can get this thing together today. We have the timing officially done on the Coyote. I'll show you that in a second. Dale's back here cleaning up our front cover for us, getting that guy ready to go back on with some sealant in the areas that we have to put sealant on. So that's awesome. I'm up here working on the oil filter adapter for feed pressure for the turbos, oil feed. So I'm gonna reseal these because they kind of look like they're leaking a little bit. The engine oil that I'm cleaning out here is red, and there's red on those threads. So I'm gonna reseal those with some PTFE before we throw that on, just so we don't have any oil leaks. And then we're gonna get that thrown in there. You can see we have all of our tensioners and chains back on. So I screwed up, I was 90 degrees out. So what we had to do was get the crank in the right position, get the pistons down on the cam lobes that we're gonna actuate first, and then manually turn the cams 90 degrees. And we got everything lined up. There's multiple marks in here. So if you've ever dealt with LSs and you're watching my video wondering about Coyote timing, I'm just gonna tell you one thing, it's wizardry. And two, I still don't fully understand it, but I understand enough to know that it's right now. So we got the Boss 302 tensioners in here, and everything's looking pretty good in that regard. So we're gonna next goal front cover after check in with you in a little bit, and hopefully we can get this engine buttoned up today. Alrighty boys, our parts in the back are getting a little bit smaller, which is good. So since I saw you last, we have officially buttoned up the oil pan, and the front cover is back on. So that means up next, we're going to put on the valve covers actually, because once Dale and I get the valve covers on, he can start working on tightening up the manifolds, and I can start working on some of the front accessory drives. So to go along with that, we got like all the lines on the front tightened up. And if we get the valve covers on, we might be able to hang turbos today before we go home. So that would be pretty cool. So we're gonna keep plugging along. I got my boy over here. He's strutting the GoPro cam on his head, getting the time lapse for us. He's absolute savage. Getting rid of parts, that's always good. We just got a couple left, some tensioners and stuff. And Dale's up here cleaning up. Here we are, much more complete than you saw it last. So we got valve covers on, coils on, high pressure fuel pump stuff is all tight. Wires are starting to go back in their home. We got the front pretty much done. The only thing left is the balancer, the AC tensioner, the main tensioner, and the water pump pulley. So we'll get that stuff on the next time we're over here. We have the manifolds tight. Freaking, my boy Dale is an MVP on that shit, because those things are a nightmare, absolute nightmare to get tight, especially the bottom ones. ON3 says in their kit that they provide hardware, but I don't have any of it. We used the stock stuff and it ended up working out. You can see the top ones aren't bad to get to if you've never worked on one of these, but the bottom ones, like, I can barely even show you because there's no room, but you can see them just barely down there. Coyote headers, Coyote manifolds, just a nightmare. Everything else is looking pretty good. We have pretty much everything together. So next time that we come to the shop, it's gonna be balancer, front drive, mount the extension pieces, mount the turbos, and drop the cab down. So that's pretty exciting. Hey guys, it's your boy Al coming back to you. We are out in the garage again, hopefully to start finishing out our progress here on the regular cab F150. So we're mostly buttoning things back up. My big goal for this weekend is to drop the cab down and hopefully be close to breathing on that key. So my priorities this afternoon, we're all said and done with work today. It's Friday, stopped by on the way home. We got a couple things done. So since I saw you last, we got 100% of the front drive done aside from torquing down the crank bolt. And we didn't do that yet because I need a new bolt. I originally got and was supposed to get it with all the new parts that I ordered, the VCT solenoids and the belts and all that stuff, and I never got it. Regardless of that, we got everything on the front. The balancer is installed correctly. We pushed it on and it's bottoming out on the oil pump like it's supposed to be. I did put RTV on the keyway. Hopefully I didn't put too much. Hopefully it's not too little. I guess we'll find out if it leaks. Fingers crossed it doesn't. We're starting to work on the up pipe stuff. So our headers, after our headers, you bolt on this little section right here to kind of come up for the turbos and the wastegates mount here. So I am running into a couple of clearance issues. These heater core hoses need to be reworked a little bit because they used to mount on the stud down in here on the valve cover with this gray guy right here on the back. And clearly we cannot have heater hoses down in there anymore. So those guys are gonna eventually probably have to get extended and reworked, you know, come out around the turbocharger or something like that. But for now, we'll probably just run them over the top of the valve cover. And then the other thing that's given us a little bit of an issue is this wheel speed sensor ABS line. They're kind of combined. You can see both of them in here. And it used to mount up on top of the strut tower. And then this little corner was actually back behind there by the header, and that's just way too dang close. So gonna have to figure out how to mount this guy without it being in the way. Have not figured out a solution for that, but who cares? We are getting to the most important part here. We're gonna mount freaking turbos and wastegates on the truck right now. So that's the exciting part. We'll rework the other stuff later. Let's just get turbos on this thing. I went to go check on the wastegate. I wanted to pull them apart because I've had used turbo kits before and I've been ignorant and not pulled apart the wastegates, and I had a torn diaphragm. Took the truck all the way to tuning and it didn't make hardly any boost because I had a torn diaphragm. So I learned my lesson. Tear these things down before you use them, or at least pull a vacuum on the top port with a hand pump and make sure that they're working and they don't have rips in them. I'm glad I pulled these apart though, because I have not only a mess on my bench, I found these two springs in there. And so the thing about these two springs is they're not colored and they're not labeled. And so I would have to have a hand pump and actually push pressure in to start trying to calculate where it opens at. Or I can do this instead. ON3 says this yellow spring paired with this red spring is 7 pounds. So we could also run the green spring, this guy, which is 8 pounds. And I think we're gonna run 7 for now, because if we get a boost controller, that means we can run 14. And I just don't want, I don't want 8 pounds to be too much right away, even though it's the difference of literally 1 PSI. ON3 says these come set from them with a yellow and a red in them for 7 PSI. I got no clue what those are, so we're gonna run the yellow and the red and hopefully we make 7 PSI. Let's get this thing freaking put back together. And then we gotta do the other one because I still got a yellow and a red in this bag as well. So the other one is probably set up exactly how this one was. Dang, boys and girls, looking good. We got the up pipe kind of in place. Everything's still loose though, so like we can still kind of work it around. Up pipe in place, wastegate's mounted, wastegate dump tube is mounted, tube. Turbo's mounted. Everything is loose, even the compressor cover's loose. I pulled the compressor covers off and blew out the dirt that one of them had in it. Over here, driver's side, same thing. Dump tube, wastegate, up pipe, turbo mounted. Everything's loose on this side too. You can see we got a little bit of play. Everything's moving together. So tomorrow, pretty much first thing will be downpipes, and we'll see how they fit. And then I'm really hoping that the cab can come down with the downpipes and all this stuff installed. And then we'll just work on tightening it all up when we massage it into its home, and should work out pretty good. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Since I saw you last, we got downpipes on. We started to put the Y pipe in from the driver's side over. We're kind of getting things figured out here. So one of the things that they don't tell you about, but obviously you have to do, is O2 sensors move around. So they got the front or the top O2 is closest to the turbo that they can. So here it is right here. And our wiring for O2 sensors not long enough. So we're modifying the harness a little bit because this guy has to connect there. And where's the other one? This guy just connect all the way up to there. So we got to get this guy out of this harness, get him to go back up, and then if we can get it to come out in this area, then we can connect it to the O2 sensor up there. So upstream O2, that's the word I was looking for. So these ones are pretty good. I'm working on reworking them. I'm going to wrap them in electrical tape, and then this guy is going to come somewhere through like the valve cover, kind of through over here, and this one's already hooked up. So we're going to keep plugging away on that, and then everything here is still loosey-goosey, moves around. So then we'll set the cab down eventually, and then we can start tightening up all those V-bands that are on there. So any final words?
I don't know. I'm ready to get this thing up and running.
Yeah, me too. The other thing that I noticed about the ON3 kit that kind of sucks is our oil fill hole is now not really accessible. So we're going to have to fill the oil pan via a pump or something. Not exactly sure, but we'll check in with you when we make some good progress, because we're just kind of plugging away. Hopefully we can hear this thing soon. We have made lots of progress, but it's taken a lot longer. The devil's definitely in the details of this stuff. So you have to completely redo all the stuff for O2 sensors just because they're in different locations. So basically we pulled this entire harness apart and pulled the connectors out of it. So you can see this one used to be back in here, and so we pulled that out and reloomed it all. That guy's happy. We got this one, which is now coming on. There's 4 power wires that connect down in here, so this is as far as we could pull it out, which is okay, because then it comes up here, goes up into here, and our connector is right here. And then you can see that gray wire comes up and over to our O2 for our passenger side downpipe. And then over here, I reworked this stuff as well, because these O2 sensors were originally down in here. So we got that going up there. We got to trim some zip ties.
You didn't trim them?
I forgot about these ones.
Yeah, we'll get them.
So we got those. And then what else do we do? Oh, we did the 4-wheel drive. So the integrated wheel ends, the IWEs. So the original hose goes up kind of behind here and then up and over the shock tower. So basically there's not a kink in it. Don't yell at me. I took it down with the brake line. So the brake line runs underneath here. So you can just barely see where I got that zip tie. It's down in there. And then it comes down underneath, goes this way. And you can see we got some of our routing up in here, and then it connects back up. So you gotta mess with the IWEs. You gotta change the O2 sensors. And me and my boy are about to drop this cab down, I think, which hopefully doesn't take super long, but it's probably gonna take a while. No? We got it. All right, so we're gonna drop cab down. I'm gonna put it on time lapse for that because that'll probably be pretty satisfying. We'll see you when the cab's on. Holy shit, guys. You just saw us drop the cab down on this thing. We got friggin' turbos, bro. We got friggin' turbos, bro.
Let's start this bitch up.
Holy crap. Those things this looks freaking insane. Now we got a ton of work to do in the engine bay still, but cab is bolted down, tightened down. Everything's here to stay, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Oh my God, these things this is fucking insane. I'm just gonna say it. I'll bleep it out. I'll do something, but that is fucking nuts. Look at that shit. Ooh, those things look so good. I cannot believe it, boys. I cannot believe it. Well, at this point, we are here for the next day dealing with tightening up all the turbos and stuff. Had a real big issue with the driver's side because of the steering shaft back there. But we did end up getting about 1/4 inch of clearance on it so that the shaft is not rubbing. We had to loosen all the V-bands and then kind of stick a little pry bar in there to pry it over. So everything's tight over on that side, everything's tight over on this side. Now we're kind of fighting all the wiring and trying to get it Ford putting their ECM here is just a huge pain in the butt for the twin turbo guys. But now we're working on getting the battery tray in here, and of course it hits on the side of the turbo, so we're doing some mock-up and some clearancing. This guy, the battery tray mounts in 4 spots. It's got 2 huge bolts in the bottom, and then it's got 1 more here, and it had a 4th here. We got rid of the 4th, and we're gonna probably have to clearance this in here for the turbo, just so that we can keep the battery box. I know a lot of guys probably put the battery in a different location, but I'd like to keep it under the hood for now. Guys, it's been a minute since I checked in with you last. I've been doing piddly shit that takes a long time and makes it look like I've made no progress, but nonetheless, since I saw you last, we have started to button up the engine bay up in here, working with running vacuum lines and running coolant lines and running engine wiring and all that stuff. You can see we're starting to get oil feed up to the turbos. Everything on the hot side's locked in. We're working on the cold side now. You can see I got the stealthy intercooler up here in the front, which I know a lot of you guys were a fan of, even though I kind of wasn't. But next up, now that we got the intercooler mounted, I'm going to work on, I basically got to cut all of the active grill shutter out from behind the grill. And so I'm going to work on that. It's something that is not well documented on YouTube. Not many people have shown how they did it. So I'm kind of learning as I go, which of course takes time. We got the battery all locked in from the last time I saw you. Everything is hooked up there. So we are, aside from the cold side and getting the oil feeds 100% hooked up, we are like ready to start this thing. I do need to work on vacuum block, boost block, vacuum distribution. We're gonna come right off here off the factory intake spot, and we're gonna go up, or I might end up using this one, either one of those, and then the one that we end up not using is gonna get blocked. So I'll show you that in a little bit, but we're gonna work on this grill for now, and then we will tidy up the last couple things. Got my boy Dale throwing piss juice in this, throwing pickle juice in this thing, and I got oil in it. We got all of our vacuum distribution hooked up. Grill's on the front of this thing. We've been just chopping away. I'm gonna get this thing, get the tune flashed on it, and we're gonna go for our very first startup, which is gonna be loud as shit because we didn't put the cutouts on it just yet. Ooh, so it's gonna be dumping on the ground. But I gotta get Wi-Fi, so I'm gonna go about flashing this thing. Oh, yeah. Here we are with the exhaust on the truck. We got those fancy dancy cutouts in there.
And you can go to speedlabs.com, use code ALEC15 for 15% off these cutouts. Alrighty guys, we're at the first startup. Look at this freaking thing. He's priming it right now. Alright,
accelerator pedal to the floor.
Dude, you're telling me I'm standing in front of it.
I'm so fucking nervous.
Oh boy.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Oh! Oh my god, bro. Oh. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's got like 3 seconds of almost starting and then it stops already.
I know.
Oh!
Oh my god. Fuck.
Tell me why. A little under half now.
Do we have any leaks underneath the truck?
Let's look for the first time since you tried starting it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where are we leaking?
Front and rear. This one's coming off your exhaust over here, which I don't know where that one's originating from. It looks clear.
Is it water?
It might be. That one looks clear. Let's look at the front one.
They both look like water.
Yeah, they both look like water. The fuck would you be leaking water from? I wasn't doing my duties. I didn't really read the job description.
That might be fuel.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah, it's flooded as shit right now.
Is that typical?
No.
Well, I know you can flood a dirt bike. I didn't know you could flood a truck.
Yeah, you can when you got all the fuel and
You're leaking for
fuel
them.
too. Fucking fuel.
Just full on dipped in there. Well, we ran into some snags.
Yeah, it's leaking out the fucking V-band.
What? The fuck's that make sense? Wait, where?
It's leaking right here.
How the fuck would fuel be leaking out of your exhaust? Okay. Boy, is that a chimney? Oh, what enough?
It's definitely flooded.
I mean, I got our friend.
It's definitely flooded. Cause like I just cranked it for that long, it pushed a bunch of air through, got turbos spinning, and then it ran for the longest it's ran. This thing's got so much fucking fuel in it.
Motherfucker.
That is ridiculous. How about now?
I say we give her a second.
That's the longest it's ran. All right, so you guys have seen Dale on the channel a little bit. So, of course, that's his real name. This is not like some made up bullshit that we're going here. So today, we've let the truck sit because we think it's flooded. And we're going to do it for Dale.
We're ready.
All right, let her fucking rip. It didn't do it for Dale. Trying to start the truck, day 2. So what did I figure out yesterday? I was looking at the end gauge, trying to start this thing, fucking just kept trying. I'm like, it's got ethanol in it, it'll clear it out. Well, these trucks do not have a return style fuel system. They actually read ethanol from the O2 sensors. Long story short, the truck was reading 68% ethanol when in fact it had pump gas in it. So it's way over fueling. I called 5-Star today, talked to Dion again, and he said, let me turn off the ethanol learn for you because this truck can't run ethanol right now with the way that it's set up. So I just flashed in, we're already on revision 2, flashed in the second tune, and we are hopefully gonna hear this thing fire up for the first time. So let's get to it. How about now? God damn it.
You're dripping something on the back already. That's a lot of oil. Or, what is it? Fuel? Why though? Why is it dumping back here?
Blow out from yesterday.
Yeah, she's just pouring out of the cutouts right now. You hear how bogged down that sounded?
Yeah.
Just so bogged down. Yeah. There's too much fuel.
Guys, it's been ridiculous since the last time I saw you. I think the last time that we were together was about a week ago. I was trying to start the truck after realizing the truck was still reading ethanol. We thought that was the issue. We looked at a log and the truck was seeing 30 PSI at startup. And so I started doing some digging. I figured out that I ordered a map sensor and I received a stock one. So the parts person that I was working with at the dealership did not understand me when I told them that I needed a certain part number. They pulled the truck's VIN for the rest of the timing components and they got me a stock map sensor and I didn't look at it before I put it in. So partially my fault. I ended up contacting 5-Star and I said, hey, I have the wrong map sensor. Send me the part number for the right one. Otherwise, I'm going to order a CX2391. They sent me a part number for this guy, a CX2760 in this box, right? Go to put it in yesterday. The connector is half the width of the stock connector. So, got one overnight, CX2760. 2391. I got the frickin' manifold off of this thing. I have like 4 or 5 hours into pulling the manifold, cleaning underneath it, and now putting it back in. And this all could have been avoided if I would have checked the part number before we put the cab back on, or before I put the map sensor back in. But it was a lot of talking to simply tell you that I messed up multiple times. And if a forum tells you to go with a sensor, probably just best to order that sensor. And I'm on my 4th map sensor now. Stock one, the first one that was a stock one, the one that 5-star told me to order, and now this one that I knew I needed to order. So we're gonna get the manifold thrown back in this thing, get everything hooked back up in the heart of the beast, and hopefully it'll be a good Friday this week and we can get this thing lit off and get a video out to you guys. Alrighty guys, everything is put back together, injectors are hooked back up, fuel lines are on, vacuum lines are all done. We're gonna go for our first start on this puppy with the new map sensor. Alright, you ready?
No.
How about now?
Yeah.
There it is!
There's a little dribble, but I don't think it was anything else.
Brother! Brother!
Sounds so good.
Brother!
Alright. Oh. Oh, you gotta hear it though. You gotta hear it.
Coming down.
Oh. And that's with cutouts closed?
Yeah.
Dude, I like it better. Oh, listen to that. Just finally settled down a little bit. Dude. Fuck the oxygen, brother.
Brother!
Give me some of that.
But the thing is, brother!
Oh. Damn. Damn.
Back out here the next day after yesterday, we did the first start on it and let it sit overnight just to see if anything decided to leak, and we had nothing. Topped it up with a little bit of coolant, finished up the front end. We got the bumper pad, trim piece looking good, all installed. We did some wire tucking this morning and just a couple zip ties here and there to kind of set everything in its final home. So we got the ECM heat shield on, and you can see we got just a nice little amount of clearance around the downpipe. We got the other turbo blanket on, and because you saw yesterday we only had one of them on, so we got both of them on. We got some wires zip tied over here in our modified battery box, and we have one more thing to do. We got the wire underneath the cab for the cutouts just to pull it up and zip tie it a little bit, and we're gonna back this thing out and go for our first drive. Alrighty, here's our first cold start since the truck has come home with me. Alrighty, well, the only problem that we're still experiencing is the fact that we got a bunch of lights on the dash. I have two codes that I cannot clear. They're ABS codes. I got no clue what's going on. None of my research seems to make sense about these codes. I've looked over a lot of the connections that we undid for the cab, and all of them look good. So I'm not really sure what's going on. I have no drive modes because of it, and I got a bunch of other like issues that don't seem to make sense, and it's really frustrating. We got to figure that out, walk through some wiring diagrams and figure out why. Or maybe I actually do have a bad ABS pump somehow. That would seem very unlikely, but somehow I might have killed it. With FORScan, I've tried to do every single self-test that I can, and it goes through all of them except the ABS function test. It fails that every time, and I don't know why, of course. So that's about it for how the truck's been doing, and we're gonna get that figured out. Alrighty guys, well, we're driving home from the shop, and we have a check engine light still for a couple things going on, and the truck is definitely needing a couple revisions on the tuning, but I went through every single connector, and as you can see, we no longer have all the lights on the dash. To be honest with you, I went through so many connectors, cleaned up so many grounds, and checked so many connections that I have no clue what was unhappy and what wasn't. But the truck's happy now. We're cruising along in 9th gear, about 60 miles an hour. And my favorite part is something that I'm not sure if you can hear, and I do want to put a mic under the hood so that you can hear it. But even in 9th gear, I start to lean into this thing a little bit, and you can hear the turbo spool up. And then she makes a nice little popping noise with a little bit of decel. Oh man, I love it. This thing is just getting better by the minute. It's crazy to hear this thing even just like cruising. You give it a little gas, trying to speed up. But it sounds amazing.
Dude, it sounds too good. Those ships though.
Yeah.
Crisp. Well, you got an electric.
Oh god, I'm not racing it.